Okay, well, since we're getting ready for the Module A test, I thought it would be a good idea to go over some of the questions that you might have on Quiz 2A, because we didn't have a chance to go over that. So I put together the questions here. We'll take a quick look at them. So in question 1, we had 29 students in the school. The number of girls, this is important, is 4 less than twice the number of boys. Okay, so that's the number of girls is 4 less than twice the number of boys. So focus on just that. The number of girls is 4 less than twice the number of boys. That would be this one, because that would be 4 less than 2x if x is the number of boys. So that should be that one. We didn't have to solve that one. We just had to find it. But now we have to solve it in question number 2. So if the number of girls is 4 less than twice the number of boys, we have to find the number of boys and the number of girls. Now, since there's 29 students in the school, and then we have to use what we had in the first problem, so that x plus, that's the number of boys, plus the number of girls, which is 2x minus 4, should equal 29. So there's the number of boys added to the number of girls equals 29. So when we combine like terms, that would be 3x minus 4. And then we could add 4. 29 plus 4 is 33. And when you divide by 3, that is x equals 11. I do want to mention to you that the answers here are not in the same order that they would have been on your quiz. The answers like move around. So anyway, if x is 11, and remember x is the number of boys, so that's the number 11 boys, and then 2 times 11 minus 4 would be 22, minus 4 would be 18 girls. Okay, and question number 3, complementary angles are two angles whose sum is 90 degrees. An angle is 10 less than 3 times its complement. Okay, so we have the angle and the complement, and they add up to 90 degrees. So the angle plus the complement is 90 degrees. Okay, the angle is 10 less than 3 times the complement. So the angle is 10 less, so we're going to minus 10, 3 times the complement. So we're going to put this here. So that's 3c minus 10 plus c. See, we can't forget that other angle. Equals 90. So that's why this is 3c plus c. That's 4c minus 10. Oops, minus 10 equals 90. That would be our equation. 4c minus 10 equals 90. On question 4, group of 14 friends. Group of friends, about 14 tickets to the movies. Total cost of $103. So there's the cost of the child and adult tickets. Write an equation to find out how many adults and how many children went to the movies. If you choose a variable x to represent the number of adults. Okay, so x represents the number of adults. Adult tickets purchased. What could be used to represent the number of child tickets purchased? Okay. Well, here's what we know. We know that the number of adults plus the number of children has to be 14. We also know $9.50 for each adult and $6.50 for each child equals $103. 103. So that's all we know. If x is the number of adults, the number of children would be, subtract x from both sides, 14 minus x. That's the total number of tickets minus the number of adults would be the number of children. Question 5, here's our complementary angles again. So in this one, we have the angle plus the complement is 90. The angle is 10 less than 3 times the complement. So this angle here is 10 less. So we're subtracting 10 from 3 times the complement. Wait, is this the same one we had before? Plus the complement is 90 Oh, and this one we have to actually find them. So if we combine 3c and c to get 4c, minus 10 equals 90, and then we add 10 to both sides to get 4c equals 100, then divide by 4 to get c equals 25, so c equals 25, and they have to add up to 90. A plus c equals 90, so that would be 65 and 25. Question 6. The angles of a triangle such that the measure of one angle is twice the measure of the smallest angle. The measure of the third angle is 3 times the measure of the smallest angle. Find the measure of the smallest angle. Okay. So the sum of all 3 angles adds up to 180 degrees. All right. So we have one angle. One angle plus the smallest angle. I'm using words instead of variables. So like I could say a plus b plus c, but I'm using one angle plus the smallest angle plus the third angle is 180 degrees. That's like saying a plus b plus c equals 180. Okay, so the one angle is twice the measure. Oh, lost my writing here. The one angle is twice the measure here we go. Twice the measure of the smallest angle. So the one angle is twice the measure of the smallest angle, which means if I make that 2x, then the smallest angle is x. The third angle is 3 times the measure of the smallest angle. And if the smallest angle is x, then the third angle is 3 times as much, so that's going to be plus 3x equals 180. So when I add those together, 2x plus x plus 3x, that would be 6x equals 180. And if I divide by 6 to get x equals 30, remember x is the smallest angle, so x equals 30 is the smallest angle. That's the one I want. Okay. In question 7, this was a Pythagorean theorem problem. And remember, you had your formula sheet. I hope you used that. Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This one we didn't have to solve. We just had to find the right equation. And unfortunately, I only gave you 2 equations to choose from. You just have to remember that c is the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is the longest side, and that would be the 13, so that's the hypotenuse. The a and the b are the other 2 sides. So if the x is how far it is from the base of the ladder from the wall, then we would have x squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared. Okay, question 8. This is another Pythagorean theorem problem. And remember, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And c is the hypotenuse. In this picture, we have the hypotenuse is x. That's the hypotenuse. And the a and the b are the 2 legs of that right triangle. So that would be 1.2 squared plus 1.6 squared equals x squared. So you have to do a little bit of math on this one. 1.2 squared, I believe, is 1.44. 1.6 squared is 2.56. If you add those together, you get 4 equals x squared, and then you have to square root both sides to get x equals 2. 2 miles. On question 9, this is another one where you have to use a formula. This formula is for the perimeter of a rectangle. So you have P equals 2L plus 2W. And the perimeter is 124, so we're going to put that in there. The length is 38, so we're going to put that in there. 2 times 38. And all we have to do is find the width. Oh. So if you leave it like this, multiply 2 times 38, that would be about 76. And then subtract 76 from both sides. I'll let you do the rest. And then don't forget to divide by 2, because that will be 2w. Okay. Question 10. This is another formula. This is the area of a triangle formula. A equals 1/2 times the base times the height. You have that formula sheet, so you didn't have to have that memorized. How long is the base of the triangle? The area is 207, so we're going to put that in there. We have the 1/2. We don't know the base. We know the height is 18, so we're going to put that in there. Now, on this one, you could, if you wanted to, multiply 1/2 times 18, because we're on the same side of the equal sign, and it is all multiplication. So that would be 9b equals 207, and then you could just divide by 9. So b equals, I believe, 23. Just a wild guess. 207 divided by 9. On question 11, this is another formula problem. The formula for Fahrenheit and Celsius on your sheet was, I believe, F equals 9/5 C plus 32. I'm going from memory, so I hope that's right. The highest temperature was 98 degrees Fahrenheit. You were trying to find the Celsius temperature, so you put 98 in place of the F. And then you would have 98 equals 9/5 C plus 32. You would have to subtract 32 from both sides. And then you'd have 9/5 C equals 98 minus 32 is about 66. I hope I did my formula right. And then I would have to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Yes, let's multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply by 5/9. Multiplying by 5/9. Now you could multiply by 5 and then divide by 9 to get C equals. And it should come out to be about 36.7 degrees. In the quiz preview that I'm using, like... all the correct answers are like the first one. But that wasn't the case when you were taking the quiz. If the area of the circle is that you're trying to find the radius of the circle using a formula. Okay, so we need the formula for the area of a circle. A equals pi r squared. And the area is 452.16. Pi is approximately 3.14 times r squared. Now to solve this one, you have to divide by 3.14 first. I'm going to let you do that. I don't have a calculator handy with me right now. But then after you find that number, whatever it is, 452 divided by, or 452.16 divided by 3.14, that should probably be 150 something, maybe 144. Let's just say it's going to be about 144. And then you have to square root both sides to get r, and it should be 12. On question 13, oh, I love this question here. This is real. The distance around the Earth is 25,000 miles. That's true. Approximately. What is the radius of the Earth? So we need the formula for the distance around the Earth, which is circle. Hopefully we don't have any flat earthers in the classroom, because it's circular in all directions. And so that would be the circumference. C equals, now you have two circumference formulas on your sheet. One of them is C equals pi times the diameter, and the other one is C equals 2 times pi times the radius. Let's use that one because we're looking for the radius. So the circumference is 25,000. Just put that in there. equals 2 times pi, and pi is 3.14, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply 2 times 3.14, 6.28 times r, and then I can just divide by 6.28, and that's it. Whatever it is. And that should be approximately 3,980 miles. It's really close to like 4,000 miles. It's really nice. 14. Supplementary angles are almost the same kind of problem as complementary angles, except these add up to 180. So we have an angle and the supplement. So if you wrote A for the angle and S for the supplements equals 180 when you add them together, then the angle is, so they're telling us about the angle here, 30 more than twice the supplement. Okay, so 30 more than twice the supplement. Then don't forget to add the supplement back in there. You need to have that. This is where a lot of people mess up, is forgetting to add that supplement back in there. So that's 30 plus 3s equals 180. I'm being very particular how I write my s's because I don't want it to look like 35. It's 3s. Subtract 30 from both sides. 3s equals 150, and then just divide by 3. To get s for the supplement is 50. So the supplement's 50, and the angle would be 130. And then the last question, Jamie needs a new cell phone plan. Verizon charges $350 for the phone. Okay. And plus the monthly cost. AT&T has a different charge. Okay, after how many months? So that's our unknown right there. After how many months? M is the number of months, or you could let X be the number of months. But the total cost is going to be the same for each company. That means the cost of the Verizon plan, or at the Verizon company, is going to equal the cost at AT&T. Okay, so the Verizon plan cost is $350 for the phone, plus a monthly cost of $35. Now that $35 per month has to be multiplied by the number of months, because just $35 is just for 1 month. We don't know how many months. So $35 for 2 months would be 35 times 2. $35 for 3 months would be 35 times 3. So we don't know how many months, so we're letting our variable represent the number of months, so 35 times M. The cost for the AT&T plan, $420 for the phone, plus $30 for the monthly cost. That's $30 per month times the number of months. So solve that equation with variable on both sides. Let's subtract 30M from both sides first. So those all cancel out, and we have 5M and 420 all by itself, and subtract 350 from both sides. So now we have 5M equals 420 minus 350, I think is 70. Oh, tell me if I'm wrong. And then divide that by 5, and so M should be 14 months. 14 months. So if you had any difficulty with quiz 2 and those application problems, hopefully that helped take care of some of those questions. And if you were studying for your Module A test, you'll encounter some of the same types of problems on there. So hopefully that was helpful. Good luck.